There is a version of today where everyone in the room wants a piece of your attention, and a quieter version underneath it asking who actually deserves it. Gemini, both versions are real today, and untangling them changes how the rest of your week plays out. Let us start with the bigger picture, because there is a story here that stretches well beyond today. In Western tropical astrology, Jupiter has been moving through Leo and lighting up your third house, the house that governs siblings, communication, short journeys, and the written and spoken word. That is a genuinely expansive placement for a sign that already lives through language. So if a July opportunity involving writing, a sibling, a short trip, or some kind of communication project crossed your path recently, this is the backdrop that made it possible. Jupiter tends to hand out sweeping solutions and grand plans rather than small favors, so whatever door opened, it likely opened wide. Now, today's faster-moving sky tells two different stories depending on which system you are following. In Western tropical terms, the day opens with the moon in Pisces sitting in your 10th house of career, forming an opposition to Venus in your 4th house of home. That is a genuine tug of war, work pressure pulling one direction, your need for rest and emotional bandwidth pulling the other. Later, the Western moon shifts into Aries and enters your 11th house of community and friendship, which noticeably changes the mood from professional tension to social momentum. But here is what almost every astrologer misses about this next part. If you follow Vedic or sidereal astrology instead, today's moon is not in Pisces or Aries at all, it is sitting in Aquarius. That is not an error. The two systems simply measure the zodiac from different starting points, roughly 24 degrees apart. And this particular gap matters, because a Vedic Aquarius moon is associated with a real spike in popularity and articulate charm, exactly the kind of placement that makes people want your opinion, your time, your energy. Layer that on top of the Western picture of career tension, easing into community warmth, and you get a fuller portrait. One tradition says you are being noticed. The other says the noticing is shifting from your boss's desk to your friend group. You may have noticed already today that people seem a little more interested in what you have to say than usual. That is not your imagination. Both systems are independently pointing at increased visibility right now, just through different doors. Let us bring that into love, because attention and romance are not always the same thing, even when they feel similar in the moment. A friend may be looking more interesting than usual today, or a flirtation could quietly build through people you already know, especially once the Western moon settles into that community-flavored 11th house this afternoon. The catch is a familiar one for this sign. Enjoying the attention is easy. Admitting you want something real from it is harder. If you catch yourself keeping someone in the banter zone purely to preserve your options, that is worth noticing rather than continuing on autopilot. Take a breath here, because this part is genuinely personal. Chemistry that never gets named tends to quietly expire. Suggesting the coffee, accepting the invitation, or simply admitting you are curious costs you far less than the slow fade of pretending you are not. We will come back to relationships in a moment, but career needs its own honest look here, because that early tension between work and home is worth taking seriously rather than pushing past. If a deadline or a boss's expectation is currently colliding with your need for rest or family time, the fix is not heroic overperformance, it is clarity. Naming your actual availability and asking for help exactly where you need it tends to land better today than quietly absorbing the pressure and resenting it later. Your third house has been expansive lately courtesy of that ongoing Jupiter transit, which means new communication-based opportunities, a project, a pitch, a proposal, may still be worth pursuing, even if the timing feels inconvenient right now. That expansive backdrop extends into money too, and here the news leans genuinely favorable. Financial luck appears to favor you at the moment, particularly around anything involving communication, travel, or short-distance movement, which lines up naturally with the third house energy that has been building for a while now. This is not a guarantee of a windfall, but the doors opening around you right now are worth walking through rather than second guessing. Here is what makes today worth remembering. Two respected traditions are each independently telling you that your voice is louder than usual right now, one through a months-long Jupiter expansion of your communication sector, the other through a single day's Aquarius moon, boosting your popularity and charm. Most people watching a horoscope today will treat these as separate, unconnected facts. They are not. They are the same signal arriving on two different timelines, a slow build and a sudden spike, both pointing the same direction. What that means practically is simple. Whatever you say today carries more weight than it normally would, so it is worth deciding on purpose what you actually want to say, rather than letting the moment pull it out of you. Take that awareness into your health and your inner state today, because a sign this quick with words is also quick to spiral when feelings get bruised. If you are feeling ignored or misread by someone, patience will likely serve you far better than drama. Even though drama might feel more satisfying in the moment, recurring health concerns deserve a bit more attention than usual right now, too. Nothing dramatic is indicated, just a nudge to actually follow through on whatever you have been putting off. Some Vedic astrologers associate today's Aquarius moon with the color sapphire blue as a supportive shade to wear, though it is worth being clear that this is a general tradition-specific association rather than a personal prescription, since any deeper gemstone remedy work in Vedic astrology genuinely depends on an individual birth chart rather than a blanket recommendation for the whole sign. What is safe for everyone is simpler. A few minutes of quiet reflection, or naming out loud what actually hurt, tends to dissolve tension faster than replaying it internally. On the family and social side, that shift from career pressure into community warmth this afternoon is worth leaning into rather than resisting. If a friend invites you somewhere, particularly something they are genuinely excited about, saying yes tends to pay off more than staying home out of habit. This is also a reasonable day for a small internal audit of your circle, noticing honestly who consistently shows up for you versus who simply talks a good game. That is not a dramatic confrontation, just quiet information worth having. If travel crosses your mind today, even a short one, the current financial and communicative luck running through your chart makes it a genuinely reasonable moment to consider it, particularly somewhere that lets you talk to new people rather than isolate. Spiritually, the deeper invitation today is less about big revelations and more about noticing the gap between being heard and being truly understood, and choosing, at least once today, to aim for the second instead of settling for the first. For a quick reference, sapphire blue carries a supportive association today, according to Vedic tradition. The window between 2:15 and 3 in the afternoon favors important conversations or decisions, and any activity involving words, travel, or people tends to run in your favor right now. So here is where this leaves you. Name one clear boundary at work today instead of silently absorbing pressure. If someone in your circle has been getting more of your time than they have earned, adjust that quietly rather than dramatically. If a flirtation has been stuck in banter, take the small risk and name what you actually want. And somewhere today, say the one true thing you have been dressing up as a joke, because right now, more than usual, people are actually listening. You do not need to perform confidence today. You already have the floor. If this kind of reading helps you see your day more clearly, sticking around for the next one means you catch the next signal before it passes you by.